Yes, hello and welcome to the Any Given Sunday Australia podcast, the only podcast with no one left in the playoffs. We're on to Super Bowl week, 2 weeks, so there's 30 teams and 30 podcasts that have got no one left in the Super Bowl. Joining me on the brown couch in our comfortable studio at Danny Webb, AGSAU. How are you, mate?
It's so good to have my own seat back. Like, I know Clutter's sat in it for a long time, really warmed it up for me. It's got a nice new groove in it, but I feel much more comfortable being back in my spot.
The shoulder width is, you got a lot more to play with.
Yeah,
now.
I've got a little bit more room. At least we're not rubbing shoulders this time. But hey, what a guest! What a guest! It was great to have him.
And at Charlie Pick, how are you feeling, mate?
I'm okay. Obviously I took a short bereavement period since the Bills lost.
We didn't get those bereavements when we lost. What happened?
Yeah, I know.
We were
It was
thrown
just
under the bus.
Yeah, definitely some. I just needed to take a break from the game for a little while. No, I'm fine. Life got in the way. Real life, unfortunately, can interrupt football. I'm not happy about it, but it does happen.
Hey, to be fair, it happens to all of us. Like we've all been there. Real life,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell on my screen when you look at it. I've got a glow about me. I was away, got a tan up on the Gold Coast. It was beautiful, but straight back into it.
Yeah, non-stop. But that's you, T-Mac. You're always working somewhere in your mind. You're always working.
The annual beard's coming through nicely, though. Two cracking games, very, very different games, Danny boy. The first game, Denver and the Patriots, literally a game of two halves.
Absolutely wild, this game. Like, you couldn't even written it, described it, predicted it, that it was going to turn out this way. I was really big on the Broncos before this. I just kind of had a little bit more faith in their defense. And you watch that first half, and it was actually Broncos dominant. Like, there was so many 3-and-outs for the Patriots. They weren't really getting anything going. And it really looked like a game where, like, at one point, the Broncos could have gone 10-zip up if they had just decided to kick a field goal. Instead, they went on 4-3 or whatever it was.
It threw an interception on Bridger as well.
Well, no, it hit the ground. It was just a really poorly ran play. And, like, you can put that down to essentially a rookie QB. A backup QB has played 3 games prior before the championship game. But I reckon if you pick Bo Nix up and put him in that game, in that situation, that is the Broncos game through and through. Obviously, the second half then turned into a snow game and it became real messy on both sides of the ball, a lot of running. But for the weather to change that dramatically in a single game, I've never seen it happen. To go from, like, it wasn't clear, but like the ground...
It was clear. It was absolutely clear.
The ground, there was like not a speck of snow on it, wasn't raining, wasn't anything, to then almost having like half a foot of snow where you couldn't see a single part of the ground. Wild scenes.
And it was within a quarter, because really they kept saying half-time to the fourth quarter, but in the third quarter it was still cherry rob as well. So within 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, that's one of the beautiful things about, let's just say, North America at this time of year, is that things can change that rapidly and you have to be ready for it. It was a pretty interesting game, and there were some great individual performances. There's some great plays. A lot of people making a heap out of Drake May calling his own play and running the ball and picking up a first down to basically ice it. I think this was a game of coaching at the end of the day, if you look at it. And I think a certain amount of hubris on the part of Sean Payton, it felt to me like he didn't make enough of an adjustment to their game plan with the fact that they had Stidham. It's like he thought, no, we're going to play Broncos football and he's going to do exactly what we do. And I think you saw over the game that, like, he just hasn't had the time. He hasn't had the snaps to be able to do that. Whereas Vrabel is from the Belichick school of, situational football, and he was just making good decisions at different times, and it felt like the players, they knew what was going on. They were making good decisions. They were calling timeouts as soon as a play was over to keep time on the clock. They were doing everything right as far as what the situation is, and I feel like that was the difference of the two. I do think the Broncos, like you say, with Bo Nix, is a better football team. Bo Nix
plays, they win.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if the field goal kicker could score, they probably win. There was a few missed field goals up in there for both sides, actually.
Yeah, I think it was pretty windy, but that you like. I wanted to see a field goal at the very end just to see how they go. Like, I remember Adam Vinatieri way back when really kicking the snow just to make sure that he had a foothold in there. It would have been incredible. Like 15 yards might have been tough in that weather. But do you think when you're going back to coaching, they didn't feel like they adjusted when the weather changed either? Like, they didn't adjust for Bo Nix to Jarrett Stidham, and they were trying to, like, they had to throw the ball kind of when the snow came because they were behind, but there was no rushing, it felt like, at all.
Yeah, Yes, there's an orthodox way of thinking, which is if you're behind, you have to throw the ball to catch up. But this wasn't they weren't like the 3 scores down. It wasn't like they had to get 21 points in a hurry. Like, it wasn't going to be a gargantuan comeback. They should have played the right football for the conditions. I think that's true. I just think there's I don't know, maybe I project too much onto Sean Payton because of various press conferences and attitude he's had over the years. I do think he's a great coach, but he is arrogant about how good he is at coaching. And I think sometimes that means that he doesn't, it's a fundamental thing to go, it's snowing. Is everyone ready for when it snows? Does everyone know what to do when it snows? Does your O-line know that they have to be more upright so they're not sliding around? Do you have an O-line that can, in the snow, get the run game going, which is what you need to keep the ball secure and just keep it moving? They could have done that, and it would have been possibly a different result. It was close. It was exciting. My personal feeling after watching the game was, I don't think we were watching the two teams that
playing off.
The two best teams playing off, and two teams that are going to take on the best of the NFC, and for it to be an even match. I might be proven wrong, but I thought the game that followed was a very different story altogether. But you also have to say, for Drake May, incredible. He's in a Super Bowl. As much as it pains me that the Patriots are in a Super Bowl again before the Bills are, and I'm not the only, the Bills fan base aren't the only people upset about the Patriots doing well.
I think every fan base apart from the Patriots fan base are upset that the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl.
But, great for Drake May, great for Vrabel as a coach, is pretty incredible. But, I think in the end it came down to, situational coaching. It's so boring and so Patriots to say it, but they coached better in the conditions and with who they had and who they were playing against.
It's not easy to go into Denver either to play. You're playing at altitude and all that. But you're sort of right about the coaching. Vrabel got fired from the Titans and then just went and sat in the Browns facility for a bit. Was he even an OC? I can't.
Just using the Wi-Fi and drinking the free coffee.
Because he lives in the area, he just loved football that much. And then instead of the Browns promoting him to head coach, they're nah, we don't need you. We're going to stick with Kevin. And then Kevin ends up getting fired. And then Vrabel goes onto the Patriots and creates this winning culture. Yes, okay, the Patriots have had the easiest ride in, and I sent you both the video of all the quarterbacks that they've faced to get to this point. None of them are really that impressive or that shocking. So that's kind of what I guess what you're alluding to when you're saying we haven't necessarily seen what they're going to face when they face a really good team.
Would you say the AFC had two of the better defenses where the NFC had two of the better offenses?
100%
in the games.
I think the second part is absolutely true. I think you'd have to say that. I don't necessarily take, and we'll get on to the Rams-Seahawks, I don't necessarily take the way that scoring occurred in that game as an indicator that the defenses were necessarily playing badly. I actually think
two elite offenses.
You had two elite
wide receivers.
Elite offenses, elite wide receivers, elite quarterbacks, it turns out. That narrative is changing. We're starting to talk about it now. I think they were just two more complete football teams playing each other. I think that's what it is. The Broncos defense has been really good all season. They couldn't get the job done. They lost this game. It was a low scoring game. Maybe it's on the offense not being able to just get some damn scores. But I'm still not terrified necessarily by the Patriots defense either. They've got some great players. They make some good plays, but I'm not as terrified of their defense as, say, the Seahawks defense. I think it's safe to say. I think they're two teams that are still, they're still improving, still developing. And I think they're both had a lot of things go their way for them to be playing off for the championship and a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Patriots might prove me wrong, but I still think they're not quite there yet.
They are there. They're not quite there. They are there. But we'll move on to the second game. That was anyone who watched it, and I was watching from 7 a.m. till 2:30 or whatever it was in the end. The second game was way more enjoyable and just a better contest, I guess, in the scheme of things. We called low scoring and high scoring on the preview game. To watch JSN that first half was incredible. Devontae Adams come out. Cooper Kupp had a game. Like, it was slinging around everywhere. And I think everyone wants to get that. Will we get that out of these two in the Super Bowl, you think?
To me, the most exciting game that we've seen in this playoffs was that game, was the Seahawks and Rams. And for exactly that reason, it was offensive, it was high scoring, it was electric. And you get down into that last quarter and people were scoring like a minute 30 drives. It was such a fun game to watch. And I think back to your point, Charlie, about Sam Darnold, what you're alluding to was now we've probably actually got to put some respect on his name, in the big lights, he went out and performed. But I actually think he really bailed out the Seahawks defense. You're saying the Rams offense was more dominant and that's the thing that we got to look at. I think the Seahawks defense actually played worse than what they have previously.
It's terrible decisions.
Yeah.
especially if you look back at the previous Rams games, for some reason they just match up really badly against the Rams, and it's been evident every single time for that. But I think they made some really bad decisions during that game. And then Sam Darnold was the one who was actually banging out defense, not the other way around. In the previous Rams games, Sam Darnold threw 6 interceptions between the 2 games. And then this game he played with much level-headed and then went out and got the job done and got the W. I feel like Sam Darnold is going to earn every single bit of his next contract because of the way that he's played throughout this whole season. He went from the Vikings and was 14-3 or whatever it was and got the number 1 seed. And then he's done the same thing with the Seahawks. And now he's gone to the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold is that quarterback now. He has to be up there with the quarterbacks where we're putting a huge amount of respect on it. Because how do you go from 2 different teams? And you look at the Vikings this year, they've just crumbled. And then the Seahawks previously, when you had Pete Carroll and Geno, they weren't doing enough. They weren't ever going to make it. So is Sam Darnold the difference maker? I think so.
You have to say yes at the moment, don't you?
He's a big difference maker. I think that there's good coaching going on at the Seahawks. There was they refreshed the coaching and the scheme and the strategy and everything. They've built it around Darnold really well and played to his strengths. And it's interesting. I feel like watching Darnold, he wasn't making those 5-6 turnover mistakes. He was making smart decisions, but he was still taking shots. I think at halftime I was looking the average depth of reception for Smith and Jigba was 25 yards or something like that. It wasn't like they weren't taking big shots. He was making some incredible plays. JSN was on fire. He's a really good quarterback. He's changed the entire narrative around the Vikings now. The Vikings could have had him. They could have kept him.
They did have him.
That's right. No, but they could have afforded. But they could have done the deal. They could have afforded him.
He was happy to stay there.
Yeah, and
he was already in the facility.
That's
he
right.
was in the facility. Just pay the damn man and let him decide.
And they'd seen him be good, right? They'd seen it up close and seen his work ethic and seen what he does. He's got just an incredible arm on him. When we talk about the great arms in the league, his name doesn't come up often enough. But I saw this great clip of Josh Allen talking about Sam Darnold's throwing this week, and he said something like he throws the piss out of it like no one else in the league or something like that. Josh Allen's got a bit of an arm, and he was saying you watch Sam Darnold, his rotation is so fast, an extra wobble happens just because the rotation is so strong on the board. So it's not coming out poorly. It's coming out so well it gets extra fucking wobble. So it's just spinning so hard.
Science.
And you look at his journey. He was a number 3 draft pick and had a terrible run as a rookie at the Jets. Goes to Carolina, nothing happens there. He's been
he showed signs at Carolina because it was him and Baker there at the same time.
That's right. But
But again,
I think he's one of the great stories. He's not just one of the great stories this year. I think he's one of the great great stories in the NFL of the last 5 or 10 years, to be so written off and to joke and to be on the front page of the New York Post when he's saying, I'm seeing ghosts, all of that, playing the Patriots, to where he is now, where there was that's the biggest stage he's been in, under the spotlight, playing against a proper team. That's the Rams, and it's in division. They know you back to front, and for him to throw for so many damn yards and just be so consistent and so strong, it's so impressive. And it's one of those things. We always say division games are weird. I'll say it division rivals playing in a championship game is great because they have to reach into their bag to get it done, and both teams really did. Talking about the defense of the Seahawks, though, you had that feeling that Stafford was going to get the job done. You know, like they were marching down, one touchdown and it was theirs. You know, like, and the Seahawks defense stepped up when they were under pressure. It was like, what were they? It was
4th and goal.
It was 4th and goal, and Nakua was playing really well. He, ready to take catches, and they managed to like get in, break it up, and they did their job. And so they could have been stronger throughout the game, and Darnold bailed them out. Kept the Seahawks in the lead, but they also got to stop when they absolutely had to have it. And you have a look at the teams that make it to Super Bowls; they can do that.
Well, they got to stop. And then Tariq Woolen running down the sideline, mouthing off 15 yards, keep playing. Like, great for the game, but, geez, they could have nearly iced it there. And then there was also the couple of fumbled punts that kind of kept them in the game as well. They were massive.
That muffed punt reception that gave the Seahawks the game, the ball
put them in front.
In the red zone, basically gave it to them in the red zone. That was the game. Like that, that goes differently. The whole story
of that
game is different.
Second Muffy. The first one, he fell onto it, so it was okay. But and then it turns around, does it again, and there you go. 10 yards out, have the ball. Like, crazy.
Special teams are important, man.
Oh, geez, you don't have to tell me as a Packers, but they've killed us over the years.
Huge shout out to like Matthew Stafford and the Rams though for like at this point in his career, we might as well give him the MVP trophy now for everything that he did in this season, and then to still go out and absolutely. He balled out. He
didn't cost him the game.
No way. He still balled out in the championship game. Like, I feel like he deserves just as much respect. And the Rams team, we called it very early on, probably around like week 7. Like, this is a complete team, and they stayed a complete team. They had a couple of little dips towards the end of the season, but like they were an elite team on offense and on defense. So then for the Seahawks to go out, who have like had like a one-on-one rivalry with them, and then to come out there and beat them in this final championship game, like. Surely all the momentum now is with the Seahawks.
Yeah, we're going to talk very, very early Super Bowl predictions in a minute. But, I feel like they have to be confident. It's on, it's at their... Do you put much in the fact that it's at a divisional team's ground, like they play there every year?
I think it helps that they played there more than their opponent has. Simple as that. Like it has to help. They're familiar with it.
It won't snow.
Yeah. That's right.
It's crazy how they pick these environments for the Super Bowl where it's never snowing.
No, they blatantly obviously say that we are picking teams that either a dome.
Yeah.
That's one point I love. I think we have to take that first game and enjoy the snow because everything's building a dome. They're going to lose those games soon.
It's interesting. It was an interesting choice by the Bills, who are in a new stadium next year.
You got a roof, don't you?
Well, that's the thing. Roof is over the seats. It's still going to have snow on the field. So they've actually built the roof so that the snow can still come down. You can't have Buffalo football without snow. You can't
I really like that.
Yeah,
like protect
100%.
the fans because like you saw the fans in Denver and they were like hooded up, wearing balaclavas up to like completely up to their face, and then they were just sitting there just like shaking. Imagine sitting there for like that whole last quarter thinking you're going to kick a field goal, at least get to halftime, overtime, and then still lose. Like it'd be heartbreaking.
But snow games are one of the most like you think about the fun games of the season. They're snow games. Like they're exciting, and they also are a great test of a football team. You have to play really good football in a different way, but it's not like when there's a torrential downpour in say the AFL and it's like it's just slop and it's a mess and no one can take a mark. You have to be technically just as good and have a scheme that works in those conditions, and I think you want more of that.
Like, 100%. That's I had a dream of mine is to go to Lambeau during a snow game, and just enjoy the fact that you're there. But it's all about the teams. Like the Patriots played the snow better.
That's right, and they're used to it. They would have trained like they would have been training in the snow. Like whenever it's like I know Vrabel would have been. It's snowing. We're going to go out and play in the snow. Like those
like
teams in the north do it, But that's it. It's snow day, everyone.
Come on, everyone, build your snowman.
Yeah. But then you take it back to and you see some of the guys I remember videos of Tampa wetting the balls and throwing it because they're going to be playing in snow. Like,
that's right.
Used to
in buckets of soapy water.
And then you're trying to catch it because that's what it's going to be like. Like, I feel like if we go away from if everyone's got a dome, then we're losing that side of things.
Well, it's
not boring football.
It's not boring football, but
it's not football.
You shouldn't be trending towards basketball. Do you know what I mean? Like the cleanness of everyone under a dome, so there's no wind to take into account. There's no rain. There's no snow. It is too sanitized, and it's. But you would think like the NFL, they know that that's part of the character of this game, and they need to maintain it.
Lambeau's never getting a roof, so
no,
we'll be fine.
And I think that's right. You've got those northern teams that it's part of their character, and I don't think you're gonna lose that.
I also think, like with the Super Bowl as well, like I get why they're putting them. In
they want
domes
them
and
in.
stuff.
They want
Because like people
high-scoring
paying $25,000 US for a single seat, they don't really want to get snowed on during the game, do they?
Come on, Bad Bunny performing in the snow, great. Like, for that, it's too much about the halftime show.
Yeah.
But a snow Super Bowl would just be
The Ice Bowl.
ice. Yeah, it'd be beautiful.
That's the thing, where like Lambeau will never get a Super Bowl.
No,
Like
it won't happen. It'll be a West Coast
physically impossible.
It'll be a West Coast team
Or a dome. Yeah. It's back to New Orleans next year, and it's
I think it is.
a dome.
We'll
be there.
I don't know. Bills are building a shiny new stadium.
Well, there's no dome on the roof.
Yeah, but the fans are covered.
So
They should
they
just
still want high scoring football, and Bad Bunny's not performing in the snow.
Well, get a performer who loves performing in the snow. I'm sure there's one out there.
Yeah, maybe.
Ice Cube.
There's a lot of jokes I'm staying away from. Before we get on to very, very early Super Bowl predictions, before we've even looked at the game, really, a couple of coaches have been named, and we're going through them just before we started. There's a Yinzer back in Yinsville. There's a couple of OCs, the former head coaches. Some big ones have been named. Like, is there anyone who sticks out for you?
Yeah, like probably McCarthy going to
Which I threw you under the bus last week.
Yeah, I'm
20 minutes later.
we're doing it again. Awesome. No, McCarthy going to the Steelers, I think, is like really, really.
Do you like it?
Interesting. Well, like he did kind of have success when he was at Dallas. Like, they did go through a run where they're going to the playoffs. Like, I know they weren't really performing in the playoffs, but at least getting there. Like, it's really, really interesting in my mind because the Steelers have had such long tenured coaches throughout. So, like, are they putting all their faith in McCarthy to stay there for such a long time? I feel like he's going to, like, he's a Pittsburgh man. Like, he's going to understand the culture, like, loves it, lives it, breathes it. Like, you hear his football knowledge, like, when he's done stuff in media. Like, it is phenomenal and it is deep. So, it'll be really interesting to see if he can go there. But, like, who else is actually going to be there? Like, who's his quarterback going to be? We actually don't know.
Aaron Rodgers come back.
Oh,
McCarthy and Rodgers back.
Let's just wait and see about that.
You would have to. Sorry, yeah, it's fine. Oh, don't get me wrong. Another year of me talking about Aaron Rodgers makes me perfectly happy, just because it's just something to do. It's deep in your DNA that I can say anything about him, and you can't let it go. Like, you cannot let it go. So I love it.
It's almost
like
like
it
when we
makes
talk
me
about the
so
Bears.
happy.
Oh,
That's right. How good are the Bears? Though?
Bears-
I can't wait. Bears football next year. We can all be excited about.
Anyway,
Like,
Joe
you-
Barry.
And we've got the jersey ready to go.
You can almost bet on the Bears to take out the NFC North right now, I think. Like, it's going to be hard for them. It's their division to lose.
That's a burger bet right now.
I'm not biting. I'm not biting.
So
Fuck the Bears.
the one thing I'd say about McCarthy to Pittsburgh is I'm actually a bit disappointed by Pittsburgh in that. It's an unexciting decision to me. And this is a franchise that like their coaches are meant to be there for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And
You'll be dead in 20 years.
well, that's that. But also, Tomlin was a young, aggressive coach when he took over there. He still seems young and aggressive to me. But
He's going to be a great media personality.
he's going to be the best. Like he's going to have a
media.
Well, I reckon he's got a
confirmed,
non-compete for a year.
Okay.
No one's gonna give up draft picks to get Mike Tomlin as a coach. Like, it doesn't make sense. So he can just do a year in the media and he'll be the best person in the media.
So good.
Like, I just to get like him.
And he'll get paid there too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But him, Fitzmagic, and Olsen are kind of the best. Like, they're recently connected to football. Like, they know they're up to date on everything, and they will be just like having Tomlin there will be amazing. Like,
I feel
that's
like he's
great
a character as well. He'd be good.
And he doesn't give a shit. Like, he'll say what he reckons.
I know we're talking about coaches, but just a little segue saying we started talking about media. Like, how did everyone feel about Tom Brady's call in that conference game? I actually love him. I love him.
Yeah, I don't know why
love
he
him.
gets as much hate as he does.
I love him on the call. I feel like it's so good. Like he has such incredible, and like you're saying, recent quarterback insight into all this stuff. Like he was talking about like the position of JSN's shoulders.
And that was amazing. Like that was genuinely insightful and amazing.
Straight away.
And then he caught the ball.
Yeah, he did it. He did like the demo. It was amazing. I've got a lot of time for Tom Brady. I actually really enjoyed him as a player, even though
Watched a lot of him.
Yeah, we got to see a lot of him in great circumstances. I think he still is developing as a commentator. I think there is an art in the way he speaks that isn't quite there yet. He needs to know that a microphone works and he doesn't need to yell. I think that's he's just at.
Don't we all need to learn?
Yeah, I know, but he's redlining all the time. I'm amazed no one's going, "Hey man, just talk." Like
Turn it down. Turn
yeah,
it down.
but his insights are great. I still think he has to learn a precision about it and how to do it quickly and in a slightly more digestible, way. But I thought it was a good call. But I still think there's times that I'm listening to him going, it's almost like he's trying too hard.
He's just talking for the sake of talking sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
See, controversial. I think another one who cops a lot of heat, Tony Romo. I like him.
I rate Tony Romo.
Yeah, I really.
I reckon he
I think
has
he's
that little bit of
pretty
nuance where silence is okay. You only really need to come in there, and he comes up with not the shoulders, but comes in with some information. You're like, fuck, I didn't think of that.
Tony Romo calls the play before the plays happen.
Yeah,
He's like,
which is awesome.
They're either going to hand it off to the right.
Quarterback's legs.
Yeah.
He says it all the time. It's like foot down. Quarterback's legs.
Yeah, they're either going to fake it to the right or do a quick pass, and it's 100% exactly what happens every single time.
But
he is like, it's genius.
He has that quarterback mind that he looks at it as it lines up. He's reading the defense. Like he's actually reading the defense. And he's going to, and you can hear him. He's running his checklist in his head while he's commentating. I love it. There was a season, I think it was like 2 years ago, there was an article written about how the network weren't happy with him because he was underprepared. Like he had a season where they felt that he wasn't preparing well enough. And that season, you go back and listen to it, he is talking shit. Like like he's making up stories, right? But I think since then, all players have a down season. He's come back really well.
So you're saying Tom Brady, there's faith in, he's just following his footsteps. Anyway, a lot of people give him hate. I just wanted to say that I rate him.
I think they got the Super Bowl, don't they?
Does he?
Pretty sure he does.
Fox on the call? I think maybe it is Fox.
We need to know that by next week.
Yeah,
I feel like
we're not actually at our Super Bowl preview yet, so I feel like we can give ourselves a little lead pass for that one.
I thought that was the whole thing, was he was coming in and he's got it at his home. Oh, no, he's not, because he said he's going to watch it in his hometown.
Yeah, okay.
So he's not on it.
Yeah, awesome.
Disregard.
That was awesome. Yeah. No, I'd say another coaching position that I did like was that Brian Daboll is going to be the OC at the Titans. I really, really rate that, because we've already seen that Rob Sala's going in there, super defensive-minded coach. Then you put Brian Daboll, who has been a head coach in the past. Yes, okay, it was for the Giants. But, had some shine when Danny Dimes was there and when he actually had some weapons. You put him into this young Titans team where they do need some veteran leadership. So we've said it time and time before, like you put a veteran head coach in a young team who can create that veteran culture that you need. So you're putting him in with the Titans where Cam Ward needs every little bit of help right now to actually help him develop into a QB that he potentially could be. But then you've got Rob Sala as a head coach who's super defensive minded, where the defense on the Titans is the only thing that's actually going to keep him in games while the offense is trying to sort of shit out, while they're such a young offense. I think that was a great appointment by them.
Yeah, it's spicy. What's going on in Tennessee is, I think they're going to be a really interesting, fun team next year. Daboll, remember, was great with Josh Allen as a young, talented quarterback, and that's what the Titans have. That you've seen glimpses of what Cam Ward can do there. Like they've got the potential. That's a potentially great quarterback with the right coach. And one thing about Daboll, I think jury's out on him as a head coach, and you can tell by the fact that he didn't pick up a head coaching job this time around.
When there's 15 to go.
Yeah, that's right.
I think there's only three spots that are still vacant, but he's taken an OC job before those have been filled.
Yeah,
so he knows where he's sitting.
But what I would say is, he has, as an OC and as a quarterback coach, like coaching quarterbacks, he has this great balance of busting your balls when you get it wrong, but celebrating when you get it right. So he is balanced. He's not, I kind of feel like Tom Brady still has PTSD of Belichick never telling him he did a good job. It's like Daddy was never going to say he was proud of him, no matter how many Super Bowls he won, right? That's not this situation. It's actually quite a healthy situation that Dayball will be like, you fucked it up, you need to do it better. But when you get it right, it's like, that is
He'll be in your
amazing.
face celebrating with you.
That's right. Lots of cigar. Yeah,
I feel
ship
like
some
it'll
cigars down to Tennessee.
Like you said, Salah being the defensive minded, I reckon he's just going to be like, Dayball, this is yours. Like, I'm going to worry about the defense and overall.
And culture, and that's it.
That's it. But
And you would say,
the offense
I
is
liked
yours.
Rob Salah's culture that he built at the Jets. And like you look at the Jets when he
winning
was
culture.
there. No, winning defense.
Yeah.
And
you couldn't fault that defense.
Not a winning
You
culture.
could. Yeah.
Not a
Definitely
winning
not a
culture,
winning
no, but a winning defense. And like you look at it from when he was there to when he left, it was like number one,
defense went
number
down.
two ranked defense to 31st or 32nd. And that changed in a season before they sold the farm. So like that came from Rob Saleh, and like it's undeniable that
And
came
they've
from
got some
Rob
pieces
Saleh.
on defense too, the Tennessee Titans. So again, just
Spicy.
young.
That division's going to get interesting next
Got
season.
good drafts as well.
Yeah.
So.
And
It's
I
gonna be
want
good to
the
watch.
Titans to be successful because their stadium's like at the end of Nashville's Broadway. Like it is in such an incredible spot for a stadium.
Yeah,
And
it's
like,
great.
like you stand at the top of Broadway, and Nashville's now one of my new favorite cities in the world. And then like you stand at the top, and you're looking down Broadway where all these country music bars are going off every single day and night of the week. And then at the bottom's the stadium. Like you can walk through Broadway.
Nissan Stadium?
Nissan Stadium, yeah. You can walk down Broadway, pub crawl your way down, and then have the stadium like literally at your feet. Like it is perfectly situated. So I want
Which is
the
actually
Titans-
very, it's worth saying, we're used to that in Australia. Like we live in Melbourne and the stadiums are, a walk from the station. Like we're very lucky. In most places, the stadium is
Middle of
close to inaccessible. Like it's so hard to get there. What is around it is always just either highways or
Shit
dead
car
or an abattoir.
Or a substation.
Or a substation.
Or in Philly's case, the basketball stadium, the baseball stadium, and the hockey stadium all in one. But there's nothing else. And it's a 25-minute train ride from Philly's city.
So it's
Have you been?
it's worth it's
Yes,
worth
thank you, NFL
appreciating
Australia.
that.
I have been. It was the best time ever. Please send me back.
The other coaching thing that happened, I woke up this morning to the news that I'm a tiny bit surprised about, but Joe Brady is going to be the head coach of the Bills, going from OC to head coach. And it's interesting because that raises the question of, why did we get rid of McDermott? It's obviously not for wholesale change. It was as
Spicy going on, you think?
well, I just kind of think I'm not 100% sure it's a good way of thinking if it was just a McDermottectomy, which is a term that someone used. It's just, we're just going to remove the McDermott. Because it's not changing a lot. I think
Well,
the
he
Bills'
had a bit
future
of
is going to
McDermott
depend on
hard.
who that DC is. The thing about Brady is, as an OC, second highest scoring offense last year to the Eagles, I think, last year.
Go Birds.
But this year was like one of the highest scoring offenses. Like there is actually not a lot wrong with the Bills' offense. So it comes down to that defense, and if that's it, if the reason the Bills have been 3 points off making the Super Bowl every fucking year that McDermott was there is because of the defense, that's going to determine whether or not it's good. But I'm not yet convinced that the plan from Pagula and Bean was right. I'm not 100%. I'm nervous.
I would be. I'd be nervous too. I think it was a hasty firing, and it, in my mind, really shouldn't have been done. Like you didn't have.
We don't know what's going on inside those,
You didn't have a bad season. You really didn't. It was just like, it was a game that could have gone either way. Like it was finished in overtime, wasn't it?
It was overtime and overtime and a catch ruled an interception. Like it was that close. You know.
That play was wild. Like
So what you're saying is we had to get rid of McDermott because that wasn't ruled a catch.
He was the problem.
Yeah,
He was
like
definitely
that's what I mean. Like to me, it was a hasty firing, and like if that switches the other way, and it was in catch or an intercept, whichever way it was, if that went towards the Bills, then the Bills would have smashed the Patriots in my mind. If they played that exact same game,
We figured them out the last time we played them.
I honestly think
came back from 21 points down and like
with the way
broke them. But yeah, it
I
would
can
have
see
been,
why
it'd be
you
very
needed some
different. And
time
I think,
off last week.
but we would have been looking forward, I think, to a very different Super Bowl.
You're also, you run into prime Mahomes. Like it feels a lot of very straight and open on at the moment. Andy Murray, like you guys are just playing against Roger Federer and Nadal at the moment. Like
And it's interesting. I think that's what's interesting next year is Mahomes coming back from an injury. It could be amazing. These things often there's a year of getting an off year, so it could be wide open again. You've got a new coach at the at the Ravens and some pretty big questions about Lamar coming out of the press after Harbaugh leaving. Like, it's not a good Lamar story. I don't know if you followed it, but like his injury designation would change week to week, and a lot of it was just Lamar didn't want to train. Like that. So that's an interesting thing. I just before we go, we're running out of time, but I got to say this. This is my long-term burger bet. I know where McDermott is going to take his next head coaching job.
Oh, I like this. Let's
Head
go.
coaching.
He will be
What high school was he going
after the end of next season. So next coaching cycle. Sean McDermott will be the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, poor Nick Sirianni. He has had one of the hottest seats for a long time, and I actually wouldn't hate having Sean McDermott there. Like,
He's a Philly boy. He grew up in Philly. It is his hometown. He made Buffalo his home. He is this kind of guy that wants to be home. And I actually think if the Eagles aren't 15-2 next year, there's a stink on them. Maybe not 15-2, but
Two is huge.
but if they struggle, if they have
if we have the same year, if we repeat this year, and just have anything close to similar to this year,
Didn't you win your division?
Sirianni's gone.
Back to
Yeah,
back?
but it was yuck. Like, the whole season was gross. Like, any Philly fan will admit that. Like, we couldn't play a full game of football. We played two different halves. So I think, AJ Brown's probably out. Let's be honest, because of everything that's going on there. And then next to go will be Sirianni, and then you will need a new head coaching position, and we'll take Sean McDermott. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bills.
Yeah. So
I'm all for having a Philly homegrown, because you need to love that city to be able to coach there.
And the city's got to love you. Like, it's got to be a two-way relationship. Yeah.
So, and because at least if you're from Philly and you know that Philly fans are going to hate you anyway, whether you're doing good or bad, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Does it?
But I think that's definitely going to happen.
By the next one. So that's next year.
Next coaching
Sirianni
cycle,
will get
long-term
one more
burger
go.
bet.
Let's write this in the group. This
Burger
is
with
huge.
interest. That's fries.
It's a fucking meal. It's an In-N-Out burger. All right, before we get on
Delicious.
to our... we're going to do very early Super Bowl. I just want from you two. I'll give you 20 seconds to think about it. Winner and MVP. Very, very, very early. So there's zero thought about this. It's just off the top of your head. The Bills, I reckon you are in a bit of trouble because that's the first thing that Phil Rivers has ever pulled out of, and he pulled out of that race.
Yeah.
Danny Boy, Super Bowl winner and MVP.
Well, you got to go to the Seahawks, right? There's one thing we haven't spoken about this whole episode is that we got an Aussie. We got another Aussie fighting for a ring.
Dicko.
Yeah. So not only is it going to be the Seahawks, which real quick side note. Sorry, I know we've been sidetracked so much this episode. I was watching this game and I was at a mate's place and they all wanted to go to the beach because it's summer here, and they're like,
Please.
and there was 5 minutes left, and they're like, the Seahorses are already up. They're going to win. And I was like, the Seahorse. I'm like, I wish they were called the Seahorses. The Seattle Seahorses. It's so good.
Seattle Seahorses.
You don't love that?
I love it.
It's so good.
You know that male seahorses carry children.
Yeah.
That's I love it.
So good.
I
Anyway,
love that. The Seahorses.
So give me the Seahorses to win. And I don't know if it's ever happened before, but like a punter to win MVP, give me Dicko.
He'll be paying
You'd have
quite a lot.
You'd have to do some pretty special.
Also,
punts.
they're also not going to win and him punt a lot. So I don't really know how he's going to get it. So yeah, my real bet would
A
actually...
couple of fumbles. If he causes a couple of fumbles, you never know.
Yeah, my real bet would be JSN.
Nice. Which is third liner. He's about $11 at the moment. Huge.
yeah,
Winner
I was
and
gonna,
MVP.
yeah, Seahawks, and I thought I was going to be interesting saying Jason, but there's
I think
also
that's
a chance.
very, very good bet.
There's also a chance that that Sam Darnold, if he plays the way he did last week, I think he could easily be MVP. So, yeah, I think Seahawks, and I'll go Darnold just to be different.
I am gonna be the same. I'm gonna say Seahawks as well. Just purely, I think they're gonna out offense their defense. I'm gonna say Kenneth Walker. If he has a game like he's had the last few,
Yeah.
it was 3 touchdowns against the 49ers.
And he was
yards.
some of the plays he's been making.
Some of the cuts.
highlights.
He was dropping people.
Insane.
Patriots have a pretty good rush defense, though.
Well, that's why if he has a good game, even better. Well, I've done this with no thought. You come out with the Seahorses and you're shitting on my bet. All right, boys, huge week. We've got a lot coming up out of our pipeline. Clutterbuck interview is going to be dropped this week, just so you know. We're hopefully going to do our own little awards ceremony and then preview next week, which is going to be big. That'll be our biggest episode for the year. We've got a lot of preparation, boys. I hope you're ready.
Get your phone lines ready. We might even have a call-in episode.
Ooh, be ready to go.
Just quickly before you sign off.
You sign us off.
Awesome. I've never had that responsibility before. Oh, gosh, I'm nervous. No, we're for the Super Bowl watch party. We're doing it officially with NFL Australia. You can still actually get some GA tickets. So if you want to come watch with us or hang out with us, hit up NFL Australia's website to be able to buy those tickets, or through Hickens Hotel. That's where it is in Melbourne. And I'll throw it back to Tim Mac to sign us off.
Shout out to NFL Australia. We'll be there. It's going to be a great day. We've got a lot to do before then, boys. See you then.
Go see horses, go.
Go see horses.